In this lesson, we'll cover using linked CAD files, more specifically, the architectural approach. We know how we can link in a CAD file by going to your Insert menu and linking a CAD file in to basically view an underlay, such as a civil plan. But what if you have a lot of different individuals in your firm using a 2D CAD tool that are working on other floor plans, like level 1 or level 2, or in elevations, the outside, east, west, north, and south elevations? Well, all those people have those individual 2D files and there's no relationship between those, and they're flat. So, question is, can we actually bring all of those together? And the answer is yes. And that's one thing we'll talk about here in this lesson is the architectural approach. So for example, looking at the model on your screen, it looks like a floor plan and it looks like it's 2D. And the answer is yes and yes. If you actually change to a 3D view, just click the house on the quick launch bar at the top. And now what you can see is that floor plan is actually several floor plans. And there's also elevation plans. And I can see that if I mouse over these. These are actually just 2D slices or DWG files that have been referenced in to this Revit model. So the Revit model is acting like a host or a central file for all of these 2D CAD files. Well, this is one way to use this. So as each of the individuals in my firm work on their DWGs, the elevations, the floor plans, I can actually link them all into this Revit file and see what this structure looks like as they're working on the 2D drawings. I can also bring those in or link them in to something like this or to place on my sheets. Now, to see this information of how this is actually displayed and where it's loaded in at, let's go to the Insert tab on your ribbon. On the Insert tab, click Manage Links. On the Manage Links window, click CAD Formats. And now on the CAD Formats tab, you can see several of the DWGs that have been linked in to this Revit project. So they're currently loaded and you can reload them, we can unload them, we can actually import them in and embed them, but they won't be linked then back to the original. So this is one method of actually bringing in several architectural layouts, 2D in this case, into your Revit project. And then the Revit project in this case can actually work as a central file, allowing collaboration by multiple people to actually work on other CAD formats outside of Revit. Go ahead and click OK. So as a review in this lesson, we talked and discussed what using linked CAD files, specifically the architectural approach, can mean. And it can mean several things. But in this instance, we talked about using Revit as a central file to link in all of your 2D CAD files. For example, maybe the building was already detailed in AutoCAD or another 2D CAD tool where everything was drawn in 2D, the floor plans, the elevations, but you can't see them in a three-dimensional model. Well, one thing we showed in this lesson was to actually bring in those 2D CAD files and display them as a three-dimensional model. Revit, in turn, would act like the central host for all of these files if multiple people actually were working on them.